Hey guys, this is going to be my unboxing and review of the Zoids Wild Kabtor, as you can see. And this part's going to be a little weird because after I'd filmed this, I realized that I completely bungled the sound, so I have to do this as a voiceover. I also had to take the whole kit apart after the fact, so the build section of the video is going to be a bit odd as well because there were two things I couldn't take out anymore and the stickers are already on. But anyway, let's take a look at what's in this box here, or what's on the box actually. It doesn't look that much different from the others, of course. It's a Zoids box, you know what that means. It's got the regular mode and Wild Blast mode depicted on the back here. The one thing that's different here is that it doesn't have the affiliation on the box, and it also doesn't tell you what species the Zoid is meant to be, which I still think is a bit odd. This is the first line of Zoids where they do this, but oh well. Now, as I'm opening this, you can see it has the same cardboard insert with this dark brown and tan digital camo printed on it as all the other kits. Two pamphlets with instructions, actually. A little more about that in a second. As I'm moving things around on my cutting mat. So anyway, yeah, here we go. Here's the two pamphlets. The first one, which looks like it's the main one because it's got the name Kabtor on it and this page that looks like the cover page, is actually pretty much useless because all it is, as you can see here, is the list of all the parts. That's all that's on here. You know, the part that wouldn't even be necessary if this stuff still came on sprues. And yeah, description of how a wind-up motor works, evidently, because I guess a 5-year-old in 2018 would just look for the touchscreen and wonder which way he's supposed to swipe to make the thing move. So I'm going to put that away because I'm not going to need it anymore, ever again. What I do need is this, which is the actual instructions for the build, which of course are super simple because this is a classic wind-up Zoid, born and bred. Instructions are in color, just like on the others. A little more about that first page in a second. Now here are the bags. It always works the same way. The S bag has the mechanical stuff in there, the wind-up motor, the rubber caps, the eyepieces for some reason. Excuse me. And the pilot figure. The stickers are in there too if you look closely. The eyepieces, I don't know why those are always in a separate bag, and there must be some lore reason why they're painted, but not a clue. Anyway, here's the A bag. Always contains the gunmetal colored parts for the bone structure, and the B bag is the armor parts, which are in this mint color here, which honestly I'm not a big fan of, but yeah, that's what's in the box. All right, so with that out of the way, let's talk. Oh, wait, wrong kit. All right, so here's what's in those bags. We've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 parts for the bone mode. These eye pieces here, whoops. These eye pieces here are separate, of course, but I couldn't pry them out anymore, so you're just gonna have to take my word for it, I guess. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 parts for the armor. I've got 6 rubber caps here. There's actually 8 of them in the box. For some reason, there always seem to be 2 spare rubber caps in these Zoids Wild kits. Your clear pilot figure for reasons no one understands. And maybe the weirdest part about this kit is the fact that it comes with the wind-up motor with basically most of the walking mechanism already built around it. Now the reason that's weird is especially because you see here in the instructions, this entire page here, or section I should say, actually shows you how to put this together. So what I'm thinking is they must have originally planned for this to be part of the assembly. And then someone decided that this was too difficult for kids to build, because let's not forget, Zoids are basically kids' toys. And so now it comes pre-assembled. Who knows? Anyway, let's get started. This is going to be a very quick build. First thing you do is that you put together this extra stinger that folds out. This is the Wild Blast mode, basically, and this is what we start with. So this bone section goes in between these two minty mint armor parts, like so. This folds out and this moves out. I'll show you that later when we have the whole thing assembled. The next thing we do is that we take these body halves plus this and the motor. I'm going to make sure I don't put this together backwards, especially given that all you guys know I'm doing this for the second time. I better not make an ass of myself. I guess it's sort of acceptable when it happens as I'm building something for the first time on camera, but better not do it now. So this all hooks together like so. And that's basically the torso already finished. Now what we also need to do is put this on, which I remember attaching a little more firmly, so now I'm confused. Oh, no, we're good. This is going to attach firmly enough once the legs are on. Okay, so the next thing we do is these 6 legs, which are all identical, fit on these parts here. Now, they're going to, you see how these pegs are protruding here? These are all going to get rubber caps as well. But as you can probably tell from what it looks like as I'm putting them in, because I'm having to apply quite a bit of pressure, the rubber caps are really just for show, and I appreciate that, but you can see that they don't, I mean, you can wiggle them loose a bit, but they don't just come out. This is definitely a good thing. Get these rubber caps on here. This is definitely a good thing, because on some vintage models that were designed the same way, it was actually the rubber caps holding the legs in place, and I always wondered what the hell they were thinking. Okay, let me flip over the instructions, because I think, yeah, the idea is that this is bone mode, all done. And so all we need to do now is put on the rest of the armor, where here you can see I put the stickers on already, of course. And I really have to say at this point, if there's one thing about Zoids Wild that I am not a fan of, it's these stickers. Especially the stickers for the faction that, I can't remember which one. Well, one of them really literally looks like the Pokemon logo is what I'm trying to say. This one kind of does too. I really wish they'd kept some sense of, I don't know, a militaristic design, I guess. But I guess those days are over. Of course, you can also just, not put on the stickers and not complain about them, which is what I intend to do with the kits that I'm going to paint. Okay, these wings are not very good at staying in place, so I'm going to snap this on first. And then I'm going to put on this wing. And that's that done. Now you see here on the side, it has these pipes that basically mimic a rib cage. And when this is down, because it folds up for the Wild Blast mode, it really fits very nicely on top of these. Just looks really cool. Also here behind the eye, you have these pipes that look like they feed electricity in there. Vent here, and I have to say the legs really just look like miniature versions of, the Gysac or Scorpozoids, depending on which continent you're from. So it's just really cool design. All right, last thing is that we need to put on these head armor pieces, which now make him look angry, whereas on this side he still looks surprised. I'll put the pilot in place here because I want to say something about that as well, and then we're done. Here we go. All right. Yeah, what I wanted to say about the pilot is a lot of people were complaining about this when these Zoids were first announced. I think they're forgetting the command Zoids, which are actually part of the 80s release of Zoids, where the pilots were very much exposed, for one thing. And for another, I have to say, I really do think the way the pilot sits on the neck of the Gill Raptor like a racehorse jockey, the saddle slipped forward or something, is kind of silly. But what's going on here makes perfect sense to me. He's sitting on this like it's a motorcycle. He's sort of half tucked in between these wings. Yeah, looks like a pilot on a vehicle to me. So anyway, here's your Kabtor all finished. I'm just going to show you how to set up Wild Blast mode really quickly. You fold this open. This folds out, which by the way has a nice little detail here underneath. And then you fold it back down. And now once you pull this out, this tab here rests on top of this rotating gear. So now it stays up, and it'll actually move up and down because this rotates when it's wound up. But I'm going to show you that in a second. And while you're all still wondering why I said that so loudly, here he is in motion. As you can see, moves pretty well, much better than the Scorpier. Covers quite a bit of distance until the motor dies. And here's Wild Blast mode. You see this big Stinger cannon, whatever it's meant to be, moves up and down. It does kind of walk in a circle, which is why it's about to fall off the table here. But yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. I have to say I like it. And here it is all put together, of course. All things considered, I have to say I'm a little torn on which one I like better between this one and the Scorpier. I think the Scorpier is kind of cooler looking. I'm still not so sure about the color of the armor here, although it works much better when you see it all put together. But then again, the Kabtor definitely has the better walking movement, so it's got that going for itself. And I also just kind of found the build to be a bit more fun, because on the Scorpier there are a few things that just don't immediately make sense, whereas this one just goes together quickly and easily, and yeah, it was just fun to work with. I'm also really looking forward to painting all these guys if and when I finally get around to it. But yeah, that's my review of the Kabtor. Don't know which one I'm going to do next, but it's going to be a big one because I'm done with the wind-ups. Thinking probably the Gabrigator, because I haven't seen anything about that one anywhere online, and I kind of want to see what the Wild Blast mode on that one looks like in real life. Meanwhile, I'm going to keep this one spinning for a few more rotations, or maybe just one. I always say a few more and then it's just one, right? Anyway, I had fun doing this. I hope you guys had fun watching me. Comments, subscriptions, thumbs up, all of that, please. And I'll see you in the next one.